Hey, friends. Here we are again for our third Bible story, but it's our last one. We've missed seeing you, we missed being with you, but I'm so glad that we were able to have a Bible school this way and you were able to listen to Bible stories with me. And I believe you've had music and maybe you've made some crafts along the way. It's been really exciting. How many of you remember what my name is? Raise your hand. Wow. What was my name? Say it. Miss Rhonda. That's right, Miss Rhonda. So, I have our last Bible story. Now, let's think. Our first week we talked about a man and his two sons. Remember that? And then last week we talked about a man and his friends. And remember how they cut a hole in the ceiling and lowered him down so he could see Jesus? Remember that one? Well, tonight we're going to read a story about three women. Three women. And all of our stories have to do with compassion. You remember that big word we've talked about and you've heard about? So this one's kind of hard and it's kind of sad about these ladies. So this story shows what being open and present to people along the way can look like. When you're going to listen to somebody and be there for them, this is what the story is going to show us. That's a lot to think about there. When our compassion is strong, y'all see Miss Rhonda trying to read without her glasses? Who out there told me to put my glasses on? Anybody? When our compassion is strong, we are alive to the feelings in others around you. We're open and we can tell how they feel. We can see how they feel, and we can be there to support them and help them. You remember? So tonight is a story about three ladies. And I want you to listen for their feelings as I tell the story. In Judah, that's a place, there once was a man named Elimelech. And I think that's his name pronounced the right way. But if it's not, I'm sorry. He was worried about how his family would survive the famine. He took his wife Naomi and their two sons to the country of Moab. They settled there and made a life among the people. Soon their sons married two women. One was named Orpah and the other was named Ruth. Sadly, Naomi's husband died, and then even her two sons died. That's sad. Naomi missed her family. You know, the one that she had back in Judah before she left? She wanted to go back home, so she began the long journey back to Judah. It was a long way. As was the custom for the daughters-in-law, Orpah and Ruth followed her, because that's what they were supposed to do. That was the rule. But Naomi told them, no. You stay home here in Moab. This is your home. Go back to your family. May the Lord deal kindly with you as you have dealt with your husbands and me. Peace be with you. Then Naomi hugged them goodbye and they all cried together. So just go back on that a little bit. Orpah and Ruth were from Moab and that was their home. Naomi told them, stay here. I know the rule is that you're supposed to go back with me to Judah. No, you stay here. This is your home. This is where your family is. And go back to them and be good to them like you were good to me. But Orpah and Ruth were determined to follow her. They meant they were going to follow her. Naomi tried to persuade them. She tried to talk them into not following her. I do not want to ruin your chances at marriage and having your own family. No. If you stay with me, you will have nothing because I cannot give you anything. I have lost everything and my heart is so bitter and sad. Then they all cried together again. Orpah decided to go back. She was going back to her family. But Ruth hung on to Naomi even more. Naomi said to Ruth, don't stay with me. Go back with Orpah. But Ruth opened up to her and said, oh, please don't make me leave you. Where you go, I will go. Where you make your home, I will make my home. Your people will be my people, your God, my God. And where you die and are buried, I will be buried there too. I will be your family. When Naomi saw that she couldn't change Ruth's mind, her heart softened. Remember just a second ago I said her heart was bitter and she couldn't feel anything with her heart. It was just such a sad heart. But now, whenever Ruth said that to her, her heart softened and she wasn't as upset and she wasn't as upset and angry anymore. She accepted Ruth and they traveled back to Judah together. Ruth lovingly took care of Naomi and she became like a daughter to her. Wow. That's a really sweet story, isn't it? She had a lot of compassion for her, didn't she? Yeah. Sometimes, y'all, it's hard to know what to do. Here Ruth was saying, I'm going back to my family in Judah, and y'all stay here with your family. But the rule was they were supposed to go where she went. And it's hard sometimes to make a decision and know what's the right thing to do. If I do this or if I do that, I'm not good at making decisions like that. And it's very hard. So it's hard to know what direction to take. But if we are present to the experiences of those around us, if we pay attention to what others are going through, we can trust God's Spirit to show us the compassionate way. We can trust God. God's going to show us the right way. We just have to trust Him. Naomi showed compassion to Ruth and Orpah by encouraging them to go back to their families and not go with her. She was like, you know what? You have a better chance if you just go back with your family and forget about me. Ruth showed compassion to Naomi by just saying, I'm going with you. Orpah showed compassion by supporting Ruth's decision while making the choice that was best for her. She supported Ruth whenever she said, I'm going back with Naomi. And Orpah said, okay, you know what? I think that's a good idea for you, but I really need to go back to my family. She still showed her compassion. All gave compassion in their own way, showing us there are many ways to follow the Spirit's leading to love and care. Wow. We've heard some really good stories about compassion and about people caring for others and taking care of others and being present, which means understanding how they feel and trying to help them feel better if they're sad, or be happy with them if they're happy. We've heard a lot of that. All right, so the last page that you have from me is page 104. It's down here. It's got a picture that says along the way. And just like I told you in our other stories, you have a section that says ask and a section that says imagine together. And those are things for you to talk about with your grown-ups. Like, how does compassion help us be present? That's a hard one for you little guys. But compassion is seeing and feeling and helping feel better, remember? So how does it help us to be present? How does it help us to be with somebody when we have compassion? And what does it mean to be with people in their hurt? Does it mean you go, oh, I'm sorry, bye, and you walk away from them if they're sad? Or does it mean sit down by them and say, hey, you want to talk about it? Yeah. So these are things that you can talk to your grown-ups with in your house. And then imagine, just use your imagination. How did Orpah feel when she went back to her family? Now, she left Naomi and Ruth to go back, but she went back to her family. Was she happy to be with them? Did she miss the others? Those are things that you can imagine. Then you're going to color the picture at the bottom that says along the way, and it's a reminder picture of the story where Ruth was helping Naomi along the way and staying with her and being present with her and being there for her. That's a very sweet story. I really like that one. Well, I hope you have enjoyed story time with me. I sure have enjoyed story time with you. I do miss seeing all your faces, though, and I do miss seeing all those little hands shoot up in the air with questions. But I'm sure that once we get back into church again and we are back all together again, if you see me, I want you to come up to me and say, hey, I remember the story. And I want you to tell me what your favorite story was. Is it the man and his two sons? Is it the story of the friends that took the man through the roof to see Jesus? Or was it the story of the three ladies, Ruth, Orpah, and Naomi? So when you see me back at church, I want you to come up and tell me, what was your favorite story of the three? I hope you have a good time with the rest of your Bible school activities, and I hope you are enjoying your summer break and enjoying this nice, hot South Carolina weather. You're getting to do some things and staying cool and staying safe all at the same time. Y'all take care, and I can't wait to see you when we're back in church. Bye.